Welcome to the Naples Money Managers News you can use. As you can tell, I am very patriotic today. I'm not political, but I'm patriotic.
There's nothing political about the American flag.
That's right. And while we're going to talk a little bit about the elections and the portfolios and what we're doing.
'Tis the season.
Yeah, it is. And it's always kind of interesting to look at the markets as it relates to the elections.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't matter much.
You know, the market doesn't care too much so long as they're making money.
True.
That's what it boils down to.
And if the market's making money, everybody out there's making money too, even the smallest person with their IRA or their 401k, assumingly.
It does move down the line.
Yes. So before we do that, though, I was just talking about, generally when we plan for people, we plan to age 95. And now they're talking about maybe we're over planning. So it's some interesting statistics. I always, by the way, when I'm out of town and you miss me, I'm off visiting clients and their children oftentimes in the summer. So that's where I was again, as well as working in my Vermont office. But so just so people don't freak out, wonder where am I?
And she's always busy, folks. Don't worry. Dawn is always nose to the grindstone. So.
Yeah, that's not the good news, okay?
It's not.
This is kind of interesting, though. It said this is for few Americans live into their 90s.
Right.
Okay, so we kind of already know that. So the average life expectancy for men in the U.S. is right now age 75 and women's age 80. However, it says disease control and prevention, are the ones who kind of come up with these numbers. And Social Security also has in their website life expectancy tables, which I find kind of interesting. But it says 86% of adults 65 or older that have at least one chronic health condition would be likely to die at those ages. However, if you don't have one of those conditions, so without a chronic condition, a 65-year-old man has a 19.3% chance of living to age 95.
It's pretty low.
Well, I don't know. I thought that was pretty good.
A 20% chance?
Yeah, but if you have high cholesterol,
which I do,
you drop to 12.5%.
Woohoo!
Yeah, and if you're obese, it's 2%, and if you have diabetes, it's 0.4% chance of living to that age.
Wow.
And for women, it's
diabetes is bad, huh?
Right. So if age 90, women with high cholesterol have a life expectancy drops from 90 to 87. If you're obese, it drops from 90 to 85. Oh, wow. And if you have diabetes, it drops from 90 to 82. So what they were really talking about here, which I find interesting, is as we do financial planning, if someone does have a chronic illness of some sort, why are we trying to wait and make sure their money's going to last till they're 95?
And that's a really great point.
They need to spend it.
I think about that all the time when we're seeing in front of some of our older clients who have significant sums of wealth. And while living for your children and grandchildren is great, you should enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like you said, why plan for 95?
Right, but this is what most people say. In my experience, most would rather have a little left over than run out early. And that's what's built into our brains.
It is.
Anyway, I just find these statistics very interesting, and I love them. So I'm a statistics kind of girl.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, do we overplan? That's a good
question.
question.
Do we overplan? And people come in and they say, well, I'm not going to live that long. Well, I can tell you, we have a lot of clients that are living that long.
Absolutely.
Good care, good financial planning.
And you begin to look at, okay, well, will the dollars last? And they always do with the good financial planning.
Right. So now let's talk just a little bit about where we are in our portfolios and why we're starting to raise a little more cash.
Yeah, so as some of you may have noticed in your accounts, if you're clients of ours, there may be some cash building up, and that may continue into November. As we've said several times during our programs, we were really comfortable with the elections because we knew both candidates.
Right.
Both had served 4 years by this point. We'd seen the economies under both candidates. It didn't seem like anything to really worry about. Now, we're not saying that the Harris Walls is something to worry about, but it is an unknown.
Exactly.
So we're going to, as some of our stocks get called away from us in our option writing accounts, we're going to kind of let that cash sit maybe through November.
Yeah, just to kind of see how things shake out a little bit. I guess I would rather, kind of like this article says, I would rather earn a little less than lose a lot more.
And exactly. And guys, like let's be really honest here. Our returns are good this year so far. So if we were to stop right now, most people are looking at a 15% return, which is really solid for a year to date. So if we kind of, just kind of throttle back just a little bit in case something goes wrong, I think people would rather keep what they have than give it back.
And that's been the attitude of most of our clients. That's what they tell us. Every once in a while, we get somebody who's, well, the market was up 30%, and you were only up 20. I'm like, okay.
You were still up 20.
I'm sorry about that, But that's the kind of thing we want to let people know what we're doing. We might be 25% in cash, maybe more, maybe up to 50%. We'll see how it goes. New money, we're kind of going in slow. We're not going in more than 50% right now. So if you're coming to us as a new client or bringing us new money, it's not going to get in the market very quickly. So yes, we could miss a good pop, which often happens during election times and right after. But hopefully, being a little more conservative here, we'll just do what it's always done for the Naples Money Manager since 1987, which is keep our clients whole and keep their income coming in steadily.
Keep them from the unrecoverable wrecks. Because Dawn always told me when I first started here that if you're down 40%, that is it's a life-changing.
And you're taking money out.
And you're taking money out. It's a life-changing loss in a lot of ways.
Well, you never recover.
Everything.
You never recover from that. And so we want to make sure that never happens.
And it never has under our stewardship. So.
Right. After almost 35, more than that years now. We're closing in on 40, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Hard to believe, and I look great for my age, don't you think?
She looks fantastic for her age, folks.
Anyway, this is Naples Money Manager's news you can use, and as we always say, money matters, but most of all, and most importantly, you matter. We have heart for you.
Have a great day, folks. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.